Good morning, friends. For BA second year optional English, Indian writing in English is the fifth paper. Before I could touch the subject, friends, I would like to suggest you that online admissions are open, and I think university also declared the result. So register for online admissions. I will share the link on this group. Coming back to our topic, I have already sent the syllabus. The first topic is background study, and later on there are two poems. We will discuss background later on. Let us begin with poems first. Our first poem is Fairy Indian Poem in English, written by a Padma Shri Award winner poet NISSIM EZEKIEL. Friends, NISSIM EZEKIEL is one of the most popular names among the Indian poets. NISSIM EZEKIEL was a poet born in India but having his origin Ben Israel, or in simple words, he was a Jew. His family settled in Mumbai. His father was a professor of English. His mother was principal of a school established by himself. NISSIM EZEKIEL was such a dynamic personality that he was not only a poet, he was a playwright, he was a broadcaster, he was a literary critic also, as well as he was an English teacher. So his career was a varied one. He was born in 1924, December 1924 in Mumbai, and at that time when he was quite young, our struggle for independence was going on. He also showed some interest in various activities, socio-political activities. But he left all this and left India and went to England for further study. In England, he lived for 3 years. And how he lived there, in one of his poems, he says that poverty, philosophy, and poetry were his companions in a basement room. His living in a basement room suggests that he lived there in poverty. He was student of philosophy and he was a poet also. After completion of his study in London, he wished to return back to India, but he was moneyless. So, on a ship, maybe perhaps a cargo ship carrying armed fires to Indochina, he accepted the job of a sweeper and somehow managed to return his home at Mumbai. Friends, when the subject of studying a poem comes, it is believed that the most difficult task in literature is the study of poetry. Since no satisfactory definition of a poem is still has not been given by any poet. Every poet looks towards life with a different angle. William Wordsworth, the great poet, he defined poetry as a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. As per his opinion, a poem is spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. There are other definitions of poetry also. All these definitions indicates that poetry itself is a complex matter. It is not simple. The very Indian poem in English is one of such poems. The success of a poem remains in its multi meanings. As a reader approaches to the poem with a different angle, the poem also changes its meaning. As far as NISSIM Ezekiel's poetry is concerned, he writes poetry in a typical language that is called Indian English. What is this Indian English? As I have stated earlier, that Lord Macaulay introduced an educational policy for Indians. His purpose was to create clerks to help British officers in various offices. Indians not only learned but mastered that language. But the English spoken by the clerks in offices was called Babu Angrezi, a typical Indian style that is called Babu Angrezi. NISSIM Ezekiel, he writes poetry in such language. If you observe, yesterday I have sent you the link of the poem, the very Indian poem in English. We use present continuous tense instead of simple present. That is the typical feature of Indian English. A repetition of words you can see in the poem. All these things are there. Okay, that is about the style. What about the content? As far as content of NISSIM Ezekiel's poetry is concerned, he writes about the common folks, common peoples around him. Not only NISSIM Ezekiel, but every literary artist, maybe novelist, maybe dramatist, maybe poet. These peoples are an inseparable part of the society. They do not purchase the matter from sky or earth, down the earth. Whatever material they collect from the part of the society. Okay, this is a brief introduction for NISSIM EZEKIEL. Tomorrow we will deal with the poem. I will send you the handout written about NISSIM EZEKIEL very soon. Thank you.